If you've been online lately, watching travel content, interviews, or even those random Guess My Accent videos, you've probably heard a bold statement floating around. Filipinos speak the only real English left in Asia. It sounds dramatic, like something the internet would exaggerate for views. But here's the surprising part. Millions of Americans genuinely believe it. Not because they're trying to insult other Asian countries, not because they think the Philippines is superior, but because of what they keep experiencing in real life. Filipino English feels natural to them. And when Americans say real English, most of the time they don't mean perfect grammar or the Queen's English. They mean English that sounds familiar, English that flows easily, English that doesn't force them to concentrate, English that feels like home. So why does Filipino English often create that reaction? The first reason is history. The Philippines is one of the few countries in Asia where English became deeply rooted, not just taught as a school subject. After American rule began in the early 1900s, English was pushed heavily through the education system. For generations, Filipinos learned math, science, and government in English. It wasn't just something you studied for exams. It became a language you lived with. That long exposure created something powerful. A country where English is normal, daily, and functional. Second, American media influence played a huge role. Hollywood movies, American music, TV shows, cartoons, pop culture. When you learn a language through entertainment, you don't just learn vocabulary. You learn timing, emotion, humor, sarcasm, and natural conversation patterns. That's why many Filipinos sound emotionally fluent in English, not just academically fluent. Third, the outsourcing and call center industry changed everything. For years, Americans have been speaking to Filipinos through customer service, banks, airlines, phone companies, tech support, delivery services, you name it. And those conversations usually happen when the American is stressed. Their card got blocked. Their flight got canceled. Their phone isn't working. Their internet is down. So when a calm, clear, respectful Filipino voice helps fix the problem, that moment becomes memorable. And when it happens again and again and again, Americans start forming a pattern. Filipinos are easier to understand. They sound professional. They're polite and patient. They explain things clearly. And that's how the belief spreads, not through research, but through repeated experience. Social media made it even bigger. Now you'll see viral clips like, "Filipinos sound more American than Americans. This accent is so clean. I thought she was from California." And the comments fill up with the same line. Filipinos speak the only real English in Asia. But here's where we need to be honest. That phrase isn't really about English being correct. It's about English being familiar to American ears. Because the truth is, there is no single real English. English belongs to everyone who speaks it. Singapore has strong English. India has strong English. Malaysia, Hong Kong, and many places across Asia have strong English too. So the Philippines isn't the only country in Asia with excellent English. What makes Filipino English stand out to Americans is a specific combination. A long history of English education, heavy exposure to American culture, daily real-world practice through global work, clear pronunciation in professional settings, and a communication style that feels warm and human. And that last part is important. Filipino culture is known for respect and hospitality, and you can often hear it even in English. More patience, more politeness, more effort to make the other person comfortable. To Americans, especially those tired of cold, automated customer service, that feels rare. So what they end up praising isn't just the language, it's the experience, it's the feeling of being understood. And maybe that's the real reason this idea is blowing up. Not because Filipinos speak the only real English in Asia, but because Filipino English often sounds like real connection in a world that's becoming rushed, robotic, and impersonal. So now I want to ask you something. Have you ever heard a Filipino speak English and honestly thought they were American?